what are the risks of investing in the technology? Project development is directly related on associated risk. The initial stages came with a high risk, which was often by the high discount amount based on the risk probability principle. The higher the risk, the higher the profits. Now that we are at a discount to the last funding stage, a lot of risk have already been reduced as much as possible and some eliminated altogether. Any investments come with a risk of a financial loss, whether partners are completed. This is the way the financial market is one of the give you more than 100% profit guarantee. That's why it is important to understand why you are investing in, how great the risks are and how they can be mitigated. So what are the investment risks and how we go mitigate them? Technical risk. You have to understand that the technology has been through in all the details and updating tokens into the account in the last scientific development of the cutting-edge technology. This is not a technology, it has been a development in more than 40 years. It is partnered, certificated, tested and demonstrated. We can confidently say that the work from Anatoly Unitsky has done in terms of engineering, unique in this complexity, yet realistic and scalable technology. There are also politics risks. Despite the challenging political environment in the global community, the company has announced for this risk as well. This is an international group of companies under foreign jurisdiction and several projects, legal areas. We are not afraid of sanctions, which now technology and know-how of our welcomed by our community and create livable conditions for development. The risk of understanding is probably the main one, but if we are the fundamental stage under financing of debatable of the most difficult stage are already completed. But the risk remains at stage 15 is the most investment hungry stage. We need to build a very long high-speed track demonstration speed rail for 500 kilometers per hour. But the network of more than 500,000 partners, investors that we have managed to bring together over the past 7 years for stable project funding, while shares purchased and installment plans give us the opportunity to predict the amount of the funds what we are going to get in the coming up with a financial plan for the future. The risk of understanding is also magnified through advances payment for target projects from the revenue from assisted activities, as the company has great production potential and equipment, and unique equipment. This including the states of defense, agriculture projects, and more as well of the Unitsky farming activities and personal income. The arriving of the big business is inevitable and is one of the time big investment also not rated and moving on. Reputational risks are about smear campaigns. Our haters and competitors are closely monitoring us and have been very dedicated to through very unsuccessful in hindering the project growth. There are a lot of basic articles discrediting the company as very well to fabricated and false information aimed to misleading potential investor and involve low enforcement to create difficult for the project and keep it from being implemented. We are ready for this. Our complemented legal and imaging departments enabling the situation and can resolve all the issues brought for the court. Everyone will be approximately punished for these slanders and defendings of the company, and we have already filed lawsuits against server blockers. Economic risk should be world economic fall and to the dollar, which is tied to the shares crash or become unavailable for citizens. We can always switch to another currency of cryptocurrency if the traditional exchange machine stop function. The risk of losing information from the registry, you can always grow and save an extract from our registration. But it's available in the personal account, and also the company also protects this information. The risk of the project visionary Unitsky is dying. The general designer is in great shape, believe it, he is in very great shape, and disappeared his age. Anatoly Eduardovich leads his health lifestyle, and he has his own engineering school to pass in his knowledge. He has followers, and the technology is well protected. Competition risk. The technology is competitive and surpass the current technology in terms of safety, environment-friendly cost, efficiency, and several other indicators, which is proven in all the tests. Unitsky, many startups, we are not at the visualization stage. We have established small-scale projects and have a real model range of 11 modes of transport. There are not just pictures and videos, but actual producing waiting for the market. The risk of uncertainty. One of the disadvantages of the investing in a venture project is the lack of concentrate time frames and capitalization levels. We cannot say exactly how much money it will take and when the company say assets will be listed on the exchange. We will have an evaluation of the intellectual property, but the end price of the format by the market based on the demands and other and for the time frame we are experimentally dates of compensation of states 50. This is quite of a complemented process that depends on many factors. One has to take into the account to the specific certain constraints and the stage of the economy as a whole. This is why venture capital financing is not for everyone. You need to be patient and wait, and competent investors who understand what the investing is also know the prospects and the potential of the capitalization that what we sold to the project succeed. We are talking about hundreds of % profits, dividends, and long-term growth in assets value, and so long as the technology is development and implemented all over the world. What have the investors received so far for it? The company has held shares buybacks twice times for the first investors who have done this on certain conditions. They could see the real profits and the withdrawals. They are multiplied funds from their bank cards. What was it like? This first buyback was officially announced in October 2018. I also took part in it. Information about was provided in the personal accounts of investors, along with the conditions of the first payback. The payback was available to the first 5,000 investors. They could sell up 100,000 shares, for the shares was sold for 1 cent. The money was available for the withdrawal to the bank card and in the wallet in the current currency during 90 calendar days. The company offered to buy back its shares at the price of 1 cent of a share. You could be shares sell of 100,000 shares is thousands of dollars. They were instantly exchanged for an investment of $33, with an average for states discount of 1.3 thousand. This is one investment share $33 over the years of 2014 to the thousands of dollars is basically on a 30-fold investment increasing. 30 times increasing. 1 January 2022, the company announced the second payback. The conditions were as follows. It was available for investors that were part of the first 𝐒𝐤𝐲 and born before December 31, 1944. At the time that the investors were 75 or more years old, and they can maximum give back to 500,000 shares. The shares will be sold on 1.2 cents each. The investor could withdraw the money to the bank card and in the wallet of the currency of their choice in a period of 6 months. And after this period, it was closed. Now, let's do some calculations. The company offered the buyback to some shares for shareholders on 1.2 cents each. You could sell 500,000 shares for $6, for $6,000. Now, the shares has instantly been exchanged for 176 investment and average first state discount of 1.3 thousand. This investment of $176 in 2014, UF in investment was basically multiplied by 36 times. You have to agree, this is a quick profit.